Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another fine episode of Chick Flick Shuffle.
You go, girl. You say tit flick shuffle?
That's exactly what I said.
Oh, God.
Today, we have come together to review a very fine movie called Statutory Rape.
Oh, lifetime original movie.
We have with us today Stray.
I come from Canada. I have to fly down there every week to record this show.
And we make him pay. Then we make him pay for gas and lunch.
He's rich, though. He's got that Canada money. He just kills someone to become money.
He got that blue.
No. Yeah, we just have different colors, and apparently the Americans like it so much that we get even more out of it than the normal currency exchange.
And then we also have Lord Ziggy.
What's going on? What's up?
How did you break him out of the asylum again?
I broke myself out.
The asylum needs him to grammar check their paperwork. Then we got...
So he's on rent again?
Yes. Panty Dropper Jones. And his other half, something not gay.
You can't even tell.
It sounds the same. Okay.
Fisticuffs?
Oh, hello. I like
Something
movies.
pretty.
And finally, the old classic, Gio.
Yeah, that's me. Discard women, become Gundam. Don't do drugs, kids.
Alright now, Cameron.
And I
Wait.
You have
He's
your
a
loving
classic, what am I?
me in. But I have sinus issues, so I don't sound as poetic as I usually do.
Well, see, it all started in 1990.
Alright.
He decided to separate
With some
himself.
hardcore smangin'.
He decided to separate himself from the symbiote. And become his own thing.
Is your panel still running? Cause he just came out of nowhere.
So yes, let's talk about this movie, The Runaways.
Yeah, I don't want to kill myself.
Young girls doing drugs, the movie.
Yep.
It's a biographical film, kind of. I have issues with that.
Yeah.
About the punk rock band, The Runaways, of course. Honestly, when I heard this movie was being made, I really thought it was about a movie about the Marvel superhero team.
That.
That wouldn't be a chick flick.
But and they're a huge influential group because it's an all-girls rock band at a time where that was looked down upon. And by time, I mean 1978.
Well, 75 when the band started. 75, 76.
Yeah.
So, you're off for a few years, because around 78 is when they broke up.
Oh.
They stopped existing.
Well, I don't know. I'm black. I don't listen to their music.
I don't
I'm male. I don't listen to their music.
We're
That one was terrible.
We're sexist.
What? We're not sexist. We're just being Stereotypical black people.
Which is the
I'm
same thing.
Asian Canadian, so that does not count for me.
You have to understand, everyone is sexist in Canada. When you live in a world full of lumberjacks, that's what you expect.
Yes, big hunt, women in kitchen.
I'm gonna tell you something about black people. Black people ain't got time to categorize. You're Asian.
And I think the first thing that we all want to get off our chest is the opening scene. Man, when I saw that scene, I was putting ketchup on my chicken at the time.
Yeah. That opening scene, by the way, is Dakota Fanning, as plays one of our protagonists, Cherie Curry, Cherie Curry, getting her period.
You don't know it's a period at first, because at first it's just a little drop out of concrete, and then you know.
Yeah, I thought it was.
It was
really, this
on her leg.
It may sound ignorant or naive, but let's just put this out there. That was my first time knowing, this is the first time I had any idea what period looked like.
Really? Seriously?
Have you not seen Carrie?
I have, but she was in the shower, so I guess it was kind of obscured.
Wow.
You
learned something new today.
By the way, this beginning sets up something we see a lot in the movies. They love to get into tight, closed spaces and do stuff.
Yes,
they do.
Because it helps them keep the rating low, but still show somewhat explicit scenes for some strange reason.
Yeah, and they also want to have it's also a directorial choice because they also want to give you that claustrophobic feeling.
Also, you have no idea what's going on. Yeah, I had a hard time following what was going on whenever they showed these enclosed space scenes.
I didn't, except for that there's this one shower scene. This guy's leg is sticking out, and I don't know what they want me to think. What is this?
I don't even know who a lot of these guys show up are. They just show up. They don't have.
I really don't either.
Are they like their roadies, their boyfriends, or what?
It wasn't her boyfriend, I don't think, because her boyfriend looked different. They introduced him early on.
Who? Oh no, that's her sister's boyfriend.
Yeah.
No, that was her boyfriend.
No, the very beginning.
Sister didn't have
that was her sister.
No,
the one that had the period had the boyfriend.
No, that was her sister's boyfriend.
That was the oldest sister, the one that she left behind at home.
That was not Sherry's boyfriend. That was her sister's boyfriend.
Yeah, the boyfriend comes up later on.
Let me I got something to say about that boyfriend, the older sister's boyfriend.
That he gets excited when someone has their period?
Yeah. He's gross.
I know.
He stick his fingers in that woman's vagina, then rub it on the little girl's face. She was 15. She was playing the 15-year-old, and that was gross. That was disgusting.
That 15-year-old was doing all kinds of stuff in that movie.
Yeah, but here's the thing.
15-year-olds really shouldn't.
Actually, Ziggy, here's the thing. Throughout this movie, about 4 years passed by. We don't even realize it.
That's not true.
Really?
There's no way it's 4 years.
Yeah.
I thought at the end they say that she's 16 now or something.
Yeah, at the end they say it's been 1 year since they met.
Really? Because from all the stuff I've seen of it, the band didn't lasted I think 4 years, and it after 2 years was when Dakota Fanning's character is supposed to believe it.
The band lasts longer than the events in this movie. They tell you that at the end. So it's been about 2 years. It's been 1 year with the band, and then 8 months later, and then there's been 2 years of the band without Sherry.
Oh.
Well, here's the other thing. It's a movie.
This movie had terrible pacing.
Yeah, the pacing was off, kind of.
Well, by the time they had a breakup, it's pretty much by their next album, so 1 year. Really.
So no one really knows how long it took for the band to... I don't know.
The band broke up about 2 years after Sherry left.
This movie was made for the fans of the Runaways.
Yeah.
It didn't really, explain to, the new people that haven't heard of them, what this band's about.
That, and the movie focused mostly on Sherry and Joan's relationship. That's what
I was wondering about that because all the other
problems.
all the other band members really didn't get any screen
Because
attention.
if it focused on all the others, then the movie would have covered like the times after Sherry left, but they didn't do that.
They didn't have to. It's like they're there. They even give them little personalities, like in Spice Girls. Like, that's the smart one. That's the ginger one. But you never hear them say more than one line. So
you don't know who the hell they are.
And
nobody knows their names.
And that prospect, because there's so many characters in a movie, but since only like 3 of them get developed at all.
Well, here's the thing.
You have to like Kristen Stewart's character because she's the most normal of the 3 that they actually develop.
Here's the thing. Only 2 characters, only 2 band members actually stayed with the band from the beginning to the end.
Well, they don't tell you that.
No, they don't tell you that movie, but they're the ones that are, you see them first introduced.
Which is
the drummer and...
The drummer and Kristen Stewart's character.
Oh. Surprisingly, I actually enjoy Kristen Stewart's character. I think that's the type of role that she should play.
I know, right?
Well, that's like what I said.
In her face for once.
You kind of have to like her character because she's like the normal one still. So she's the one that still cares about the music. And while there are other normal characters, none of them get developed. She's the only likable character that gets developed.
And she doesn't take those skank pictures.
It's so surprising. Like, to me, I think she did a pretty good job. Like, that was some good acting. Whoever directed the scenes with her in it knew what they wanted and got what they wanted.
This movie made me hate their producer. Kim Foley.
You mean the manager?
The manager, no, he's a record producer.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he also manages them.
Yeah, he also manages Kim Foley. I hated him. He was such a douche. He's a douche. He was a needlessly douchey douche.
But
everything he said is like curse words galore, referring to them as bitches.
I think everything he did, though, even though it was douchey, it was very intentional. Everything he did pay off.
I agree with that.
Yeah, I know. I agree with that. I was saying, I just hated him.
I loved how in one scene he talks about all these guys running around in makeup and dresses, and then he shows up in the next scene with makeup and lipstick on.
Remember that one scene he's talking with Joan, Kristen Stewart's character, while he's having sex with a chick, and then the table breaks on top of a table, and then the table breaks under them. I just couldn't stop laughing at that.
Best moment in the movie.
Again, it's very accurate to what he was.
And I love how his story ended. You think he's kind of crazy anyway, and it ends with him in a chair for cuckoo birds,
looking like Austin Powers.
Yeah, you totally lost it.
But he put out other bands like what other bands he discovered?
I think it said Kiss. They said they produced Kiss.
Slade and some other folks. So apparently he knew what he was doing.
Now, one thing I didn't like about Sherry, well, there were a lot of things I didn't like about Sherry, but at the very beginning, I'm wondering, and it kind of ruined this whole facet in the song, like the believability. Because Dakota Fanning, she just lip syncs at the very beginning. And then the next time you see her, she's lip syncing. And the next time you see her, she's lip syncing. But when she's actually supposed to be singing, I can't believe that she's not lip syncing.
No, go ahead.
The thing that bothered me about, Sherry's character, Sherry, what was her name? Sherry's character. I hated her relationship with her sister and her family.
Yeah.
I know they're supposed to be dysfunctional, but there was nothing there to be just.
They really didn't develop that too much. Like the father, I really didn't care too much about the father's condition.
No,
I didn't. The sister tried to make her care, but she didn't care either.
And the relationship, the sister's relationship, was so boring and so dull. Yeah. You couldn't get anything out of it.
I do hate their mom.
Yeah.
Who shows up for one scene.
Oh no, I didn't say her.
It's like
she just shows up, girls. I'm moving to Indonesia. Come if you want to. Bye.
Yeah.
You will never see me again.
That's not enough to make me hate someone because, like, at the beginning I thought I was gonna hate the douche character, but since he only showed up in that one scene, it's like, well, I guess it doesn't matter anyway.
I just hate the mom when she showed up. It was so stupid. I'm going to Indonesia with this man I just met. Bye.
Yep.
Beth.
We're getting married.
Okay, man.
Mom ever do.
The conversations between Sherry and her sister was like watching two Stephen Hawkings talk to each other.
I will say that from what I've read, they were a huge hit in Japan, like unlike here. Or they were okay here, but in Japan it was crazy. As you can tell when the Japanese girls broke that glass and zombied into their room.
Exactly.
It was.
So they're basically the Avril Lavigne.
That's what Dead was based off of.
That's the part where it's like, oh, what's your favorite Japanese food? This. Oh, you like wasabi?
I was gonna bring that up too. Like, no, there's no way. Wasabi is the best too. You're not eating spoonfuls of wasabi every day.
She could have at least said sushi. Oh, she's too high on cocaine to pay attention.
I would have been like, oh, wasabi's your favorite? Then eat it.
The sad thing is, she probably would, and she probably would.
And then the next day, after that was reported, all kinds of Japanese girls just love to eat wasabi. And they
start crying.
It's so hot, but it's so good.
Oh, God. The way I sweat on my drug addiction.
I do want to say something about their concert in Japan. After I watched that part, I went to YouTube and found footage of the actual Runaways live concert.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Dakota, I thought it was just me, but when I hear Dakota Fanning's character sing, it doesn't sound like she's singing. That's at least the Cherry Bomb song. It sounds like she's just talking. Then I listened to the actual artist, and it's similar, but she does sound like she's singing. That's probably just me.
Dakota Fanning is terrible at lip syncing, by the way.
What'd you say, Stray?
Dakota Fanning is terrible at lip syncing, by the way.
They gotta say, but I noticed a lot of similarities, like the crazy Japanese people, the clothes she was wearing, the weird thing about wrapping the cord of the microphone around her thigh. Yeah.
Well, Miss Fisticuff. I didn't she was supposed to play, a 15, 16-year-old character?
Yeah, around 15, 16, around that time.
And I don't want to see characters that young. She likes to walk around in her panties in her house. I'm like, isn't she, supposed to be 16 in this movie? Ew! And
hey, Riku was 16 in Final Fantasy X-2, and no one said a thing.
Because she has boobies and a nice body. Nobody could tell she was 16.
I thought Yoko was 16 too.
My same reason, same excuse. She doesn't look it, so I don't feel guilty.
I was going to talk about the drugs, because, when you watch other movies like this, the moment where they do drugs, it's kind of iffy, it's kind of a decision on their part. And these guys, I guess being 15-year-old girls who got hyped up, they just do drugs for, no reason.
I know.
Hey, no drugs.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, we're on an airplane to Japan. Let's go to the bathroom and snort cocaine.
Yeah, we gotta get rid of it before we get off the plane.
I don't know how they got it on the plane.
70s.
And, they do the drugs for no reason, and there's really no fallout for the whole drug thing.
Well, yes, there is. For Sherry,
it's just there for accuracy.
It's only there for... Sherry's the only one that overdid it. I guess.
Yeah. She appeared to be the only one that overdid it.
Even though they all did. Well, at least we know her and Joan did it.
It seemed like once they start introducing the drugs into the movie, that's when the movie starts having terrible segues. You can never tell where the scene is going to because of the drugs. At least I couldn't tell what was going on. Like, they sniff coke, do a show, sniff coke, do a show, sniff coke, do a show.
Rinse and
Have
repeat.
sex.
Hey,
That's the last 3 minutes of the movie. Sniff coke, go to the show. Sniff coke, go to another
Do
show.
an interview. That's it.
And so, like, now, even though I think we all can agree that Kristen Stewart's character is kind of the hero in this
The only
case.
one that we like.
Because she's trying to, she doesn't want to be sex and drugs and hard rock and roll image all the time. She wants to make music. That's what she wants to be known for. But, I'm kind of interested in the evolution of Dakota Fanning's character, because at the beginning, she wasn't interested in all that either, right? And then the manager kind of made her image that way, and then she became that way, and then after she became what the manager wanted him to become, her to become, the manager started talking down to her for it. It's like, we as guys, we want people, like, we want women to be kind of, attractive and slutty and whorish, and then we turn around and like, psh, don't talk to me, slut. So, it's kind of that mentality. I think that was the basis of her story.
I think another thing is the reason she became that way is kind of she saw, hey, the public doesn't see me that badly. I can do this.
Yeah.
Ding.
Hey guys, I can wear these panties. I can wear them all night.
Did someone say panties?
There you are, panties dropping.
Are they dropping soon?
You already
But
dropped
yeah,
them.
they don't. I think my main pet peeve, like across the board, is that they don't explain enough. Like the guy that was having sex with her, I don't know who that guy is.
You mean Johnny Lewis?
Like I thought it was the roadie guy at the very beginning, but then I'm not so sure. I think his hair looked different and everything. He wore different clothes. He's
the roadie guy, the love interest.
Really?
There's no real love interest.
There's no love interest. He's just a dude that is there for sex.
True,
If
but
anything, Joan was the love interest.
it states him in IBM if he's the love interest.
Yeah, at the beginning of the movie, I was wondering if this was going to turn into some lesbian stuff, and it didn't.
Well,
It never went that far.
Technically, Joan is supposed to be bisexual.
Yeah. Well, I'm just saying, according to IMDb, he's the love interest.
But there is no love interest.
Really?
yeah.
There is no love story in this. It's all about the music and how music brings you down.
And the drugs.
Man.
Don't forget the drugs.
There was this one scene in the movie that really contradicted itself. Do you remember seeing when everybody in the band found those pictures that Sherry took for, the Japanese magazine? And how, Joan got upset and said, we're all about the music. This is what the band stands for, not sex. And I'm thinking, weren't like the first 30 minutes of the movie, the manager is screaming, when you sing on stage, when you perform on stage, perform like you had a penis and you beating people with your penis. I want to smack people in the face with your vagina. Sex,
I think
sex,
that
sex,
was
sex,
the best
sex,
line
sex,
in the
sex.
movie.
And I'm like, they should have known that producer was pushing sex more than music. They should have known better.
He knew the image so.
So, I don't know why they got too upset when, she was taking sexy photos. If even during practice, the manager was like, or, music producer was like, sex, you need lots of sex. That's the only way you're going to get heard. Sex, 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 sex.
I think what it is that, that's their image. That's not who they really are. That's not what they're supposed to really be doing. And I think she was looking at Cherry and see Cherry becoming the image, being corrupted, and that pissed her off.
I guess if that's the point, they shouldn't do drugs. They should have known better. Like, because that was not helping their
He
situation.
just did so many drugs so easily, and the movie just never addressed it. It's just like, drugs, it happens.
Like, where did they get it from? Matter of fact, how in the world did these 16 and 15-year-olds get into clubs like that in the beginning of the movie?
I have no idea. Then at the end of the movie, she can't even buy vodka.
Well, you see, it was the 70s.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. It's probably the 70s. You can just let anybody in.
Pretty much.
Maybe. I don't know.
I assume they were just a lot lighter on that stuff. Except, at least in parties, but buying alcohol in public is different.
Like, I was expecting her to bring her pregnant Asian friend into the club.
Taking us back to last episode, are we?
Oh, man.
They don't have that magical bus, though.
No. That giant climactic scene. Using lots of green screen effect. But, for this movie, I was actually more interested in Joan's character than Sherry. Joan had much more character than Sherry. At least in my opinion.
We're looking at her.
Sherry's paper thin when you think about it.
Sherry's nothing but a stone, slab. And you just point whatever you want on it.
Well, I'd say this. A very accurate depiction of her actual life.
I don't think she has a personality.
Like I said.
She's like Bella, if anything.
Stewart and her should have switched roles then.
Yes. Dakota Fanning should have been Bella. It would have made much more sense.
Well, she is in Twilight.
Yeah, she was in Twilight.
Yeah.
Wait, was she playing in Twilight?
Vampire?
Yeah. She's in the part 2 breaking down.
But yeah.
Oh, God. I could have started this discussion.
Well, we won't be going into Twilight. We gotta get to this movie.
I think the interesting thing about the drug angle, though, is with these characters and their backgrounds, I think they would have done the drugs anyway, even if they weren't famous.
I guess that's true.
Cherry for sure.
Well, they probably would have done drugs, just not as much. Or they wouldn't have gotten hold of as much.
They give a blowjob.
Well, they would be doing other things for the drugs, though, is the main problem.
Well, for Sherry, she would have been having to take care of her dad.
No, she probably would have went to Indonesia and let her sister take care of her dad.
Exactly.
You got this. You've been doing great so far. Hey, I'm going to take you to Japan one day. Oops.
How many times they brought up the fact that her sister works at a taco shack? That was almost insulting. We get it. She makes tacos. It was unneeded.
Their dad is so apparently can't handle his liquor.
His dad got drunk once in the movie. He falls out of the car. And I guess he has the greatest hangover ever because he doesn't move or something.
For a year. It's almost 2 years.
Yeah, for 2 years.
And you think, how could someone be that drunk actually got home in his car? He's parked perfectly in the driveway.
That's what I was going to bring up.
Man, he must be the greatest driver when he's drunk.
That was the perfect parking. He didn't have his seatbelt on is the funny thing.
What if he drove the car there and then just parked there and then just drank himself out?
That is depressing. And you're drunk in the car in the house. Your life is in the shitter.
Yeah.
Well, his wife left him I guess because he was too drunk and he has to live with his mom and daughters.
Man, when they first made one of those grandmas appear, I didn't know where she came from. What mysterious random grandma?
Where the crap come from?
Then she came out, her next scene was beating photos of photographers.
Who didn't run away. They just kept taking pictures.
Well, come on. She's an old lady. What's she going to do?
And they're Japanese.
They could have kung fu her to death. That was not racist.
Dude,
that was stereotyping. Big difference.
Kung fu is Chinese.
Well, fuck, karate. There we go. Or judo.
There you go. If you said taekwondo, I would have said Korean.
Don't say Muay Thai.
That's Thailand.
Thailand
I
will
would have
come.
Muay Thai. The art of killing. Muay Thai boxing.
No.
Because, you're like our resident musical expert. What did you think of the OST?
Ooh, man, to be truthfully honest, I really enjoy the music. There were some really great songs. Especially the cover I heard of It's a Man's World. Like, I always heard the James Brown version, but the one I heard in the movie was so gritty. It was almost like the singer who was singing it meant what he was saying. And the actual Runaways music, it was pretty good. I might actually go find an album or something. And
this is what interested me about the actual Runaways music. When they show you how they make the music, it's so random. You gotta just go with the flow, throw out whatever just comes to mind and make it work.
Which is a bunch of bull. It takes a bit of time to, write some lyrics out. It literally looks like they just shitted out lyrics.
Yeah, it's like, no, you just play your guitar next to me and go out of my mouth.
Something. Which is kind of, I guess it would be a way to write music, but I don't know. I did like the music. Yeah, it's the drugs. Well, actually, I can't really say drugs, because there's a lot of singers, like famous singers, who did drugs and some that didn't. Like for instance, a famous singer who hasn't done drugs, like Lily Allen or.
Elvis? Did he do drugs?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that boy was out on it.
That boy.
The thing about the Beatles, yes, the Beatles got high, but they were geniuses. So.
No.
Well, they're
The thing about
Guess who's back?
Oh, that's creepy.
Oh, God. Someone put on earphones. Or, you know what, you two go in separate rooms and talk.
That was creepy. Guess who's back? And
that just came
That
out.
was something not gay.
But yeah, nonetheless, though,
That was not gay.
the Beatles were ingenious when it comes to writing songs.
Yeah.
Didn't they copy off some people though?
They did cover.
That's what I read on Crack.com. So I don't know.
Oh, really? Their producer was a comedy producer?
I probably would believe it.
No, they were. It's fact.
Oh.
I meant the Rolling Stones.
I'm the Beatles. I love the Beatles. The Rolling Stones are good. I have a few of their songs on my iPod.
Jim Harper's Only Heart Club, The Sistine Chapel Rock.
Under My Nose.
I grew up with the Beatles.
Beatles are
I grew up with the Beatles, so I'm on the Beatles side for this one.
Eleanor Rigby, 8 Days a Week, Digs in the Hole, 164.
I've seen that sample.
Eleanor Rigby?
Yep.
Yeah, it gets sampled a lot. But,
Track.
the Runaways music, do they have the official soundtrack for the movie?
Yes.
Yeah,
I suppose they
probably.
could.
I might have to go check that out.
Wikipedia.
Well, do.
Oh no. Like, you really want to be in your room next to your parents, like, listening to a 15-year-old scream about how she's a cherry bomb?
I will listen through my headphones.
Love that Cherry Bomb song.
Cherry Bomb song is okay. It's not my favorite song I heard out of the movie.
I don't think
Like,
it's anyone's favorite song in the movie.
No, it wasn't.
Like, I blast Amy Winehouse in my room. If I have nothing to do. I love me some Amy Winehouse. Yeah, even though she's a druggie, alcoholic.
Yeah, she died of it. So, very interesting.
Yeah, which is kind of astounding, because Soulja Boy is a druggie, alcoholic, and he's still alive.
I wish he was.
He will have his day soon enough.
Only the good musicians die.
When he finishes his Dragon Ball Z album, he'll die.
Why couldn't it be him? Why couldn't he have drunk the whole bottle of Patron instead of his friend?
Why couldn't we just...
He should just drink He should drink a whole bottle of Everclear and be done with it.
Seriously, the only thing about Soulja Boy is the rap version of Sherry. Because, like, I saw a video of him when he was, like, 18. He's doing coke. You can see it on YouTube. He's doing coke in the video. And he's drunk and just talking to this girl with this really big nose. She goes by the name Cat Stacks or something like that. That dude is on crack.
Wow. Cat Stacks. That's like,
she's
a current version of a Superhead.
Yeah, she's like that, some video vixen that gives everybody blowjobs. She gave everybody and Young Money a blowjob, and Lil Wayne paid her like $1,000 or something like that.
Even Lil Twist and Lil Chucky.
Like, Lil Wayne, if Lil Wayne's only paying you $1,000 for a blowjob, you obviously don't know how to give one.
Superhead would have at least walked out with $500,000.
Yeah, like Lil Wayne sucks as a rapper, but he has money. And if he's willing to throw away money in his teeth, I think he would pay for a good blowjob. But moving on.
Completely off topic. Back to the topic.
But yeah, the music for the Runaways is pretty good. I like it.
Well, let's talk about where these characters ultimately end up. For example, Sherry becomes a chainsaw artist.
Yes.
Now, it's weird, it's weird, the idea of a chainsaw artist. It's weirder when you realize how much crack she has had.
Well, before
now you have a cracked out person wielding chainsaws.
No. She went to rehab and now she talks to teens. She's a drug counselor for addicted teens, and it's a personal fitness training.
I don't get it. She didn't let her hands shake like Lewis Black's hands from all the dope.
I don't know. It's like in the I don't know. She did have another singing career though with her sisters, like in the 80s, as a duo.
I love after
she was in a movie.
And she was in a movie.
Interesting to look at.
But yeah, I don't ever want to see Dakota Fanning in another movie like this. I can't take it.
I can't either.
Period.
And you know what? It's not exactly a bad movie.
No, it's not. It's actually pretty okay.
It's an okay movie.
It is an okay movie.
That's
The
about it.
dialogue was written very well, but the script was pretty good.
I mean, it should have been a longer movie to explain and explore the actual characters in depth more. I think that would have greatly improved the movie.
Yeah, and I really didn't get I didn't get the full sense of them actually being famous. They had this montage of them being in magazines and stuff, but I didn't feel like they were actually big. Like when you watch Ray.
I know.
Ray Charles.
Yeah.
That's the thing I was saying though. They weren't really too big in America, but they were huge in Japan.
Okay.
Which is really strange. I think this movie would have been better. Like, what really hurts me about this movie is the fact that the script and the writing is so good, but it didn't have enough time to cover everything.
No, they went too fast. They just covered too much stuff too fast.
They should have slowed it down a bit.
Yeah, the pacing was going too quickly.
But we can't have it as long as the Temptations movie. That movie was unbelievably long, but it went through everything.
Or the Jacksons.
I ain't spending 6 hours watching the Jacksons anymore.
Not counting commercial breaks.
The American Dream, my ass. It takes me that long to dream. 6-hour movie? F that. Can't do it. Seen it once. That's all I need to see. As long as not Roots. Roots last
that's why I haven't watched Roots yet. I want to, but it's too long.
Roots. We have Roots 4, and I can never make it to that movie.
The worst.
To the first one.
Something.
And I'm kind of surprised that the movie bombed.
Which one?
The Runaways. It didn't make nearly as much as they put into it. I think they put in like $10 million, and they only got about $4 million in the box office.
Let me see. Yeah, they put it. Yeah, The other guy.
Yeah, but I mean, like JL said, they weren't so big in America.
Yeah.
So, and it's in the 70s, so everybody who goes to the movies now probably not going to go to the movies to see the Runaways. They don't really tell you what's it about, except it's about some girl band. And,
except for the people who
Kristen Stewart's in it, so you're going to get Twilight backlash.
Yeah. Twilight fans ain't going to like this movie.
Nope.
They aren't.
Kristen Stewart smiling.
Well, that's because this movie's actually half good and has a decent plot.
Oh, wow. That's actually true. This movie's actually pretty good. I don't know if I'll ever see it again.
I will say that the real Sherry said that she said that she liked Dakota's Fanning performance, but said that this movie nowhere near touched upon what really happened, and that you can't take 2.5 years to make it a movie that's only an hour and a half long.
5 Heartbeats took a lifetime.
Amazing movie though.
But, so,
yeah.
I guess like well, I mean, you got
wait. We didn't finish covering. Are we still going to finish covering like what all the people did after? Like,
we don't know what all the people did after. Like I said, this movie only focuses on 3.
I know, but I'm saying we already saw that Joan made her own band. That's still going on to this day.
And she did I Love Rock and Roll.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty good actually.
And now the manager has green hair. You can see him somewhere in L.A. with a cane. But that's what the movie said.
Yeah. One thing about the movie, though, before we wrap our final words up, is when Sherry left. You know, she left in the middle while they were recording a CD. She could have recorded that CD and then left.
No. They had Joan, like, cover for her. And apparently she had to cover for their bassist, too, because their bassist left.
I didn't say that they needed her. I said she should have. Just out of respect and for the extra income.
Wait, respect?
Yes.
Respect?
For her.
She had too much coke in her system to respect anything. From the looks of this movie, she had too much coke to respect.
Nothing wrong with too much coke.
You saw her when she went to that store. She tried to buy the vodka.
And like, 2 onions.
She's like, I can have you fired.
Like she's trying to hide the vodka behind the onions.
Also, that grocery store's parking lot, they really need to fix that crap up. It was weeds popping out of the concrete and everything.
There was nobody there.
I know.
There was only 2 cars. One belonged to Sherry and the other one belonged to the manager.
Either way, though.
One belonged to Sherry and the other one belonged to the checkout counter chick, because the manager probably sleeps there. He looks like that kind of guy.
He's all like, I love how he's the first ethnic person we see in the movie. He's the only one we saw. He looks Middle Eastern.
Oh, wait, ethnic, because you do know they were in Japan, right?
But they were in Japan, so it's not ethnic. They become ethnic.
Yeah.
The Japanese people are in America, then Japan counts as ethnic.
No, this is America. Everything's ethnic. It's not America.
But yes, final words. We'll start with Gio.
I got nothing. It's a movie. I was pretty bored by it. I wish it wasn't so sporadic. And cocaine's a hell of a drug.
Yes, it is.
So you give it some old bullshit.
I give it a
Fine with me. Stray.
Don't tell me you broke up.
Stray died.
More than
Ziggy.
I thought this movie was kind of decent. I just wish the pacing wasn't so quick. It was going by so fast, so I didn't get the full impact of the Runaways, at least. So I give it a 3 out of 5. It's not bad.
McFisticuffs.
His call dropped.
Well.
Might want to check and see if we're still recording.
We are.
Okay.
Panty Dropper.
I'm gonna agree with what Figgy said and pretty much give it a 3 out of 5. It's a decent movie. It's just the pacing is just off. If they remade this movie and it was like, I don't know, 5 hours long, I'd watch it again.
Welcome back, McFisticuffs.
Yeah, I got dropped. I don't know if they will drop me again, but hopefully it won't drop me again.
So,
Does something not gay want to say something about the movie?
3 out of 5.
I'm gonna give the movie a 6 out of 5 because no, seriously.
McFisticuffs. What are your final thoughts?
Well, to be honest, I was so surprised to see Kristen Stewart really good in this movie. They need to give her more roles like this. She does not need to play the average teenage girl, because she does not look it, nor does she act like it. The music is really good.
I think his car just dropped.
Yeah, again. And he said it was just on Thursdays.
Isn't that AT&T? God damn it.
He has satellite, I think.
That explains a lot. That's who Chocolate Char has.
I'll say this. 3 out of 5 for me.
Yeah, you said
If
that.
he goes back before I wrap things up.
Yeah, he's back.
Stray.
Crazy.
Hello?
Okay. Finish what you were... Quick, finish before it signs you off again.
Alright, I thought the movie's pretty good. I give it a 7 out of 10. I probably won't ever watch this movie again.
None of us will.
It is a mite uncomfortable.
Thank you, Brandon. I don't feel alone anymore.
The movie was gross and was
Out of 5.
kind of unneeded, because nobody's dead yet. Everybody's still alive. The main characters in this movie are still alive. And I don't know if they actually, would want to watch this movie or anything. I know if I was the girl, I wouldn't want to watch myself coked out on drugs. Especially now that I'm trying to teach girls not to be on drugs. So having a movie out about me on drugs.
I personally would love to see a movie about me on drugs.
Well, we wouldn't. We wouldn't.
I'd watch it.
You would scare the shit out of me if you're on drugs.
Dude, you sound like you're in a stadium.
Either way.
Well then, it's
not
not.
for this.
I really, honestly, and I hate to say it, kind of, because I mainly agree with Ziggy. It's a pretty engrossing movie, and that's kind of because you don't, like, we've seen all this stuff happen before, and, like, behind the music, etc., but not to 15-year-old girls. So, you kind of want to watch what happens to them. And, yeah, it's pretty much the same thing. But, my main problem, just about all of my problems, can be summed up in the fact that I wanted to see more than they gave us. They just more characters, more description, more explanations, and I wish it was a longer movie, because there were a lot of things that, like Ziggy said, kind of fell flat, like their fame. If you never really felt it, it just kind of got famous. The drug use, you don't feel it, it just happens. But overall, wanting to see more isn't a bad problem to have, per se. On one hand, I'm like McFisticuffs, because I'm thinking, I'm glad I saw it once, I'll never see it again. But on the other hand, if I turn the television and it's on, like in the middle somewhere, I just might watch it again. I'll probably never see it again from the beginning because I don't like to start my day with periods. A 3.5 out of 5. Yes. We can finally escape this curse of just musical movies with our next review of Mamma Mia.
Gosh.
I know McFisticuffs was looking forward to that one. I know Stray was looking forward to that one.
But Stray's not here right now.
No. So let me give you Stray's opinion of this movie. Stray loves this movie. He's texting me right now. He says he loves this movie. He says he'd be here gushing about it if he wasn't, playing NASCAR racing or something.
Really? Really?
He said that his favorite character is the boyfriend from the very beginning of the movie. And that's that. Thank you for listening. We hope to see you next time on Chick Flick Shuffle.